This is Prime Sports Horse Report on Prime Sports Network. As we have a couple of really big time weekends ahead at Saratoga, we're looking forward to that. We have one race that we're going to handicap on today's show from Saratoga. That is going to be the H. Allen Jerkin Stakes. That's a grade one. It is not a Breeders' Cup Challenge race, but our second race will be a Breeders' Cup Challenge race. That's the Bing Crosby, a grade one from Del Mar. John Hardoon, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Greg. How are you?
I am doing fine. And why not? I mean, this is a great time of year. Not only the Bing Crosby at Del Mar, not only the race we're going to handicap, the grade one Allen Jerkins, but also two races we're not going to handicap are Breeders' Cup Challenge races at Saratoga, the Whitney and the Personal Ensing. And that's just because of the limited field, heavy favorite, that kind of thing.
Right. No value in those races, so they're good races to watch.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, so don't forget to tune in on Thursday nights. We'll post them late on Thursday nights. You can also check them out on Fridays. It's a little 5-minute report. It tells you what we're going to talk about. Also recaps any of the interesting races from the week before. Don't forget on Sunday at Del Mar, it's the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch. That's a Breeders' Cup Challenge race. So that's a big race for a Sunday. And then also next week, not only do we have two grade twos at Del Mar, but more importantly, it's a big day at Saratoga. We've got the Travers, the Test, and the Breeders' Cup Challenge race, the grade one Ballerina. That's next week at Saratoga.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to get through this week first.
That's right. And let's start with the H. Allen Jerkin Stakes. This is a 3-year-old race. Now, explain to me how this is how it works when you have 3-year-olds in a big race like this. They're not going to, say, a Breeders' Cup race. They're not going to a Triple Crown race, as far as I know. So then again, this year it's different. So maybe that is the case. So, but normally that wouldn't be the case, right? The way the schedule is, or would this race run before? This race would never run before the Triple Crown, right?
No, it would run before the Triple Crown, but
So how does that work when you have some good horses like this in a big race? So these horses, for whatever reason, just pass on the Triple Crown.
well, most of them are probably a notch below
Okay.
Triple Crown, and not only that, this is a one-turn race, and not all horses could go as far as the Derby or the other races. We actually have a horse in this race that ran in the Belmont Stakes last time out. The bottom horse, Tap It to Win. He ran in a Triple Crown race, and I guess he's going to use this race and decide if he runs well, whether he's going to run in the Derby or not.
Okay, let's get started. We're going to go, first of all, with the number 2. We're going to go in the order. 8 Rings. This is a Baffert horse. Interesting. I was looking at this horse, and I didn't even look at the trainer. And I was going over, and I'm trying to figure out a way. Okay, 8 to 1. I'm trying to figure out a way to like this horse. And there were a few things that I was thinking about. Then I saw Baffert was there, and I figured, okay, 8 to 1. That means the odds are probably going to end up like 5 to 1 or 4 to 1, just because it's Baffert. If that happens, then I don't like the horse.
Okay, well, obviously you skip the 1 because he's 50 to 1 and you think he has no chance.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
Am I wrong?
I was just wondering what you had against the 1.
And we're going to skip the 3 too, unless you like the 3 or the 1.
Well, the 1 I don't like. As far as 8 Rings is concerned, he's been away, but the tracks have been closed, so maybe that's why he's been away. This horse is a little negative. He has a 9 and a 10 as a 2-year-old. He never came back to those races at 3, and usually the Baffert horses improve at 3, so that's a negative sign. I mean, he is listed at 8 to 1, so really depending on the price, and if you have to decide what you think it takes to win. If you think a 10 is going to win the race for you, well, you can make a case for at least 7 horses in this race that could run at 10.
Sure.
And as far as...
But that's not going to be the case.
Okay, and as far as the 3 horses concerned, well, you could certainly throw out his last race. Last race, though, was first time for trainer Steve Asmussen. I think that was an upgrade from the trainer that had him previously. That being said, he has a 12 and a 10, 2 and 3 races back. So this horse certainly eligible to make a forward move. Again, he's 50 to 1. I don't particularly like him, But if you think that you need a 10, well, then he's another horse that could run a 10 in the race.
All right, now let's go with the 4 Echo Town. This is going to be one of my horses as far as my exacta is concerned. Not going to be my top horse, but I like the horse. Echo Town is 9-2 right now, and a couple of things about this horse I like. Uh, First of all, he did finish second to the favorite in this race, No Parole, in this last race. But what I like about this horse is one time in his career, he had 6 weeks off. And during that time, he went from a 9 to a 7. And that ended up being his best race. He lost by a head, but it was his best race. He ran a 7. So that was 6 weeks off. He followed that up with a win. Then he had that runner up to No Parole. In the next race, he goes back again to 6 weeks. And at about 5-1, this is the type of horse that I am looking to beat the favorite, because I want to beat the favorite in this race, and we'll talk about those reasons when we talk about the favorite. But I'm going to try to do that with this horse.
Okay. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with this horse, but I read it different than you read it, because I read that the last race should have been a lot better than the 11. He had the 7-3 starts back, like you said. Then he bounced to the 10. Well, now he's got enough time from that 7 to go back and run it, and he didn't. So at 9-2, I would play against this horse. I don't think he's any bargain. Certainly, he could run. He could win. Not only that, that 7 was run at Oaklawn Park. The 9s before that were run at Oaklawn Park. His only race in New York, he did run an 11. And if he runs a 10 or 11, well, then he's like the first 4 horses we looked at. So. And at 9-2, I don't think you're getting any edge there. I think you could do better with longer priced horses that are just as fast.
The 5, Mischievous Alex, ran a 4th in that Woody Stevens race to the favorite. 8-1 shot. This is a question I have to ask you. 3 wins in his last 4 races. Ran the 4 his last time out. Last 4 races.
Whoa. Where did he run a 4?
No, he finished 4th.
Oh, okay. Well, finish 4th means nothing. It's the number that counts. But yeah, okay.
All right. So he in his last 4 races, 10, 10, 10, 10. So how do you use the sheets to try and figure out what's the deal there with a horse that, again, 3 straight wins, then the 4th, all 10s?
Well, he has to show some sort of improvement, and he appears to be stuck on 10s. What indicates to you that he's going to run better than the 10 tomorrow?
Nothing.
Exactly. So why don't we think he's going to run another 10? And that's the number I gave him, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to the favorite, No Parole. And this is the horse, the type of favorite that I want to definitely play against. Now, he did run a 6 his first time out, which was a great number for his first time out last December. He hasn't equaled the 6. He's got 3 8s. That's his best since the 6. So I'm trying to diss a favorite, and that's what I'm going to do when I see that he's only run 8s since the first ever race of his career. So this is the type of favorite I want to try to beat.
Well, I agree with you. I'm going to try to beat him because, he is stuck on 8s recently. And can he make a forward move and possibly win? Of course. Tom Amoss, generally speaking, over the years, has never done his best at Saratoga. Doesn't win many races here. This horse is going to be short. Can he win? Of course he could win. But at 9-5, I'm going to try to beat him, especially in a full field of 11 horses, where there are a couple of horses just a point or 2 slower. So I would try to beat this horse.
Yeah, and a matter of fact, too, I was thinking might even be one of those horses that you look at the wins, 5 out of 6, and and even a grade 1 win, and that's impressive. But when you look at the sheets, then you tend to think, well, maybe he's just been lucky that he hasn't really gone up against better horses.
Well, that could be, but tomorrow he's certainly going to face some stiff competition, so let's see what happens.
All right, the 7 is Shoplifted, and a matter of fact, this is going to be a question that hopefully you're going to help me to answer, because it's either the 7 or the 9. that I'm going to try to throw into my exacta as a long shot. Shoplifted's 12-1. The 7 will start there. He's a closer, so he's going to hope that Noel Parole, who wants the lead, maybe something will happen out there with the lead. Maybe he'll get pressed for the lead, and Shoplifted will be able to come from behind. But this is an Asmussen horse at 12-1. He's running some big races before. He's coming off a 10. His best is a 9. What do you think about Shoplifted at 12-1?
Well, the good news about him is that he ran an 11 first out at Saratoga last year, so that was, his second best number he ran as a 2-year-old, so that's a good sign. The problem I have with this horse are the races prior to the 10 that he ran last time out. Those 3 races are all, 15, 14, 16. Well, the 10 last time out, you're hoping that he makes a forward move off of the 10.
Yeah.
Why should he?
Possible he doesn't like that racetrack.
What racetrack? Belmont? Oh, you mean Oaklawn where he was running? Yeah, that's possible. But then why the 18 last year at Santa Anita and the 14 and also at Santa Anita?
Sure.
Listen.
Yeah. I mean, somebody thought really highly of this horse. He ran in some big races early in his career, but he hasn't paid off yet.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I think he must have run in the Breeders' Cup last year as well. And I don't think there's anything special about this horse.
No,
he's like a lot of other horses we've seen here.
Yeah. All right. The 8 is 3 Technique, a 6-1 shot. And I don't see any reason why this 6-1 shot is any better than my 7 or the 9.
Well, he's certainly not better than the 7. He did run a 10 at Saratoga last year. This horse is owned by Bill Parcells, and I don't know, a 10 or 11 is probably the right number.
Yeah, his best is a 10. That's right. It's all he's got going for him. All right. So again, looks impressive. 5 out of 6 lifetime in the money, but the sheets tell a different story. The 9, Liam's Pride, an O'Neill horse. And this one has shown improvement over his last 3 races. If you take out the turf race, because that's not what we're dealing with here today. And that means overall on a faster track, he's 1 for 3 lifetime. He's coming off a 9. That's his best race. And he won that race last time out. So if I can get some another forward move here, that's why I was considering him possibly as a long shot in the exacta.
Yeah, well, but the problem with him is if you look at his sheet, every time he runs a race, he reacts. 11-14, 11-22, 12-19. I know it was on the turf, but, and now he's off a 9 top in the slop. So unless it starts raining, he's 20-1. I would never knock a 20-1. Obviously, he has a shot if he makes a forward move, but in my opinion.
But you like the 7 better.
I like the 7 better. Hold on. Let me go back and look. No, I don't like the 7 better. Oh, wait. The 7 was shoplifted. Sorry.
Yeah, you like the 7 over the 9.
Okay. No, I don't really care for either one of them.
That's not my question.
What?
Do you like the 7 or the 9?
I like the 7.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, let's go to the last couple of horses here. We're going to go with the 10, Captain Bombastic, a 15-1 shot. Doesn't really show much. 10 last time out is like a bunch of other horses, like you said. He does run in the money, 6 out of 6. Is there anything, in particular, as far as a long shot, that you like about this horse?
I like the little forward move last time that he made off of the 11, 2 starts back. He ran a 10 1/4 off of that 11. No, I don't think he's going to. Out of all your 15-1 shots, this one, has a shot, I guess. But I'm not a fan.
All right, and the 11 is going to be my top pick. That is Tap It to Win, the 5-1 shot. Tap It to Win. Things didn't go well for him last time out in the Belmont, but he only had a couple of weeks off, 2.5 weeks actually, between the last 2 races. So it was inevitable that he was going to have a weaker race, running that 14, bounce from the 6, because he was heading in the right direction, especially to start the year at 10-6, bounce to the 14 with 2.5 weeks off, has the 6 weeks off now, whatever it is. I expect another forward move by Tap It to Win. I'm going to take the 11 to win, and I'm going to go 4, 7, 11 in the exacta.
I like this horse a lot here as well. I like the fact that he ran an 11 last year at Saratoga. I like the fact that he came out this year, ran a 10, then moved right away forward to the 6, then reacted off of the 6, just like you said. You read the sheet perfect. This horse is live. I think this horse is going to be tough in here. Not only that, he draws a good outside box going 7 furlongs. And I would play this horse to win in place. This is my top selection in the race.
11 in place. Okay. Let's now run off to Del Mar for our big race of the week. That is the Grade 1 Big Crosby. Again, this is Breeders' Cup Challenge race. We start with the 1, Lexitonian, a 6-1 shot. Started the year with a very disappointing race. Didn't do anything. 21. Last time out. Impressive. Not only wins the race, but runs an all-time best 4 on the sheet. So is that an automatic heading into this race?
Yeah, well, first of all, he was scratched on July 25th when he flipped in the gate. So the fact that they turn around and bring him right back, I guess that's a positive sign. But that 4
When did he flip?
On July 25th. If you look on the sheet,
was that last week's race? One of our races? I recall that happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
He flipped in the gate, and they bring him back in a week, so that's a positive sign. But that 4 he ran really came out of nowhere. No one could have told you they saw that 4 coming. I certainly couldn't. You know, he's another horse in the race. He would absolutely have to run the 4 to be competitive in here, and it's unlikely that he's going to repeat it. And at 6-1, he is no bargain.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember that race, and there was the one horse that I forget what he jumped the gate. He jumped the start, and then they had to, while they were waiting for that horse to get back. That's when the other horse wound up. Like I think that was this horse, where I don't know what happened.
Something happened there. You're right.
And then it was like, so if I'm somebody that had this horse, the first horse is the one that caused all the trouble. If it wasn't for that one, then my horse would have gotten off to a start. I would have been pretty pissed. All right, let's go to the 2. Any Port in a Storm. This horse is going to be in my exacta, a 6-1 shot. Love the fact that he's 6 for 6 lifetime on a dirt fast track, 8 for 8 in the money, 6 furlongs at this distance. Love that. Love the fact even more in his last 3 races on this surface, 5, 5, and 6. Also love the fact that he's a decent 6-1.
Well, I don't like this horse. I don't like the racetracks that he's been running at. Last year he ran at Emerald Downs. Last 2 races here were in Northern California. And, at 6-1, I think I have better choices in here, and I'm not a fan.
Let's go to the 3, Desert Law. This would have been my 4th horse if I had 4th. So this is a pretty decent horse, 5-1 shot. He raced.
You can have as many as
I don't. Yeah, I try not to get carried away. The Bing Crosby, he ran in this race last year and finished 2nd, ran an 8 in that race. So if you take a look at it, he runs the 4 last June. Then in this race, he goes and runs, bounces to an 8, finishes 2nd, starts the year this year with a 6, which is very nice. So yeah, this is a horse to consider. 5-1. What about Desert Law?
Well, I would consider this horse. I'm not a big fan of a horse that has 4 races over 2 years.
That's the problem. Yeah.
The problem with this horse is he has a problem staying sound. However, when he shows up, he usually runs well. And like you said, he ran an 8 last year at Del Mar. Certainly could run an 8 or 6, and that's what I gave him.
All right, no McKenzie. He would have been the favorite of the race. So any word yet on when we're going to see McKenzie again?
No, I heard Baffert scratched him because he didn't want he was buried inside, and he thinks this horse wants to run outside.
Oh, really? So this was just he didn't like this post position.
Exactly, and it's a short race, and he's better at a little longer distance.
Okay, so let's go with the 5, PR Radio Star.
Scratch.
Yeah, all right, he scratched. PR Radios, I was going to say, this horse gets absolutely no respect. I mean, he just goes out there. He's always in the money, and he keeps getting claimed. Nobody wants to keep the poor horse.
He was claimed for $25,000, and they're running him in the Bing Crosby.
Well, not anymore.
if he pulled it off.
Yeah,
Nope.
right. All right, the 6 is Fashionably Fast. This is another horse in my exacta. Fashionably Fast is a 7-2 shot. Like the fact that his last 4 races, 6-6-5-5. Last 8 races, he's finished first or second, and he's about 4-1. That's not bad.
No, I like this horse a lot here. The problem is he'll probably be more like 8-5 because they're scratching McKenzie, who's the 2-1 morning line favorite.
Yeah.
So this horse was second choice before they took out McKenzie. So now this horse becomes the favorite, and he'll probably be 2-1, 8-5 like that. But personally, I think he will be tough in this spot.
All right.
I mean, the horse is a win machine, and he just keeps banging out good numbers.
So. Yeah. Again, 8 straight, either first or second. Also, 3 wins out of 5 at Del Mar.
Yeah.
Okay, the 7 is Law Abidine Citizen.
Law Biden Citizen.
Oh, that's what a Biden sounds like or spells like? Okay. 8-1. And this horse did run a 5 last August. That was a grade 3 win. So that was impressive. But this year so far, 7-9-7.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he could run a 7. Unlikely that he's going to run the 5. You know, he fits. He's 8-1 morning line. Again, will be shorter. All these morning lines are going to be cut in half, or, you know, they're going to be certainly affected by the scratch of McKenzie. You know, has a shot to run the 7. That's what I gave him.
All right, Wild Man Jack. That is the 8 horse, a 6-1 shot. So this is a Doug O'Neill horse who has decided we're taking you off the turf for the first time, and we're putting you not only on the dirt, but we're putting you in a grade 1 dirt race.
Well, if this horse could handle the dirt, obviously he has a shot. If you cross out his last race when he shipped to Keeneland and didn't run well, if the horse handles the dirt, he becomes a player. You know, I don't like when they wait for career start number 10 to finally try the dirt. To me, that seems like somewhat of a desperate move, and they're trying to figure something out. You know, and he's 6-1 again. Will be shorter, and I don't think he's any bargain.
Yeah, he did run those 2 6s prior to the Keeneland race.
Yeah, but they were on the turf.
Yes,
and they're
correct.
On the dirt tomorrow, so that's a problem.
All right, the number 9 is going to be my top horse, Collusion Illusion. I like the fact that this is the youngest horse in the field. Glatt is doing pretty well. So, of course, is Pratt. So you got the Glatt-Pratt combination. This horse is coming off back-to-back 7s. And if you take a look at this, only 4 weeks after so he ran a 16-11. We're going to take out that Santa Anita race because that was a disaster. So 16-11, then ran a 7. Now, he only had 4 weeks after the career high 7 in May. So what does he do the next race? He wins it. He runs another 7. But that's actually, to me, like a forward move on the sheets because he only had 4 weeks after the high 7. So I think he's ready for another high. 2 for 2 at Del Mar. This is my top horse.
Well, nothing wrong with this horse. He's certainly one of the 2 horses which I like in the race. And you're right. He's primed to run a new top today. And it's Glatt, it's Pratt. You have to respect him.
All right. So I'll go 2-6-9 exacta, 9 in the winner's circle. And John?
I like the 6 to win. You know, I would probably play 6 with 3, 9, 2 exactas. 6 with 3 and 9, or 6 with 3, 7, 9. I don't know how much value there's going to be because, again, of the late scratch. It really would depend on price, but I certainly am leaning towards the 6.
All right, again, next week, it is a big day at Saratoga. Even though there are 2 grade 2s at Del Mar, we have 3 grade 1s at Saratoga, including the Breeders' Cup Challenge race, the Ballerina, and then, of course, the big one is the Travers. So that means we'll be seeing some pretty good horses in that race, right?
No question about it.
John, I appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Be well. Stay safe. Thank you.